What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pick Six Podcast, CBS Sports Daily NFL Podcast. I'm Brinson, I'm your host. Time for some bold predictions. Second round of the playoffs. Divisional round is here. Ryan Wilson, John Breech, and Tyler Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. What's up, boys? How we doing?
Breech and Sully, you won't believe this, but I made a spreadsheet that converts our letter grades to number grades so we can grade how we did over the course of our picks.
You would have been, you'd have been a great teacher.
No, I would have been a terrible teacher.
Not for the kids.
I agree. Horrible
You'd be a good teacher, but you'd be a miserable teacher for the kids.
I'm what we call
a great tenured teacher.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Sully. I'm what we call a genius with no people skills, and I'm also very modest.
Wilson is the opposite of modest. Don't let this humbleness fool you. He only created this chart because he knows he had the best bold predictions, and he wanted to quantify that so that everyone would understand just how much better his predictions were than ours. I am on to you, Wilson. I saw this coming from a mile away. He's going to get like a 75 on his chart. Sullivan's going to get like a 12. I'm going to get an 8, and Brinson's going to get a 2. And that just tells you, I'm predicting. This is my bold prediction about Wilson's chart.
See, that's classic Breech, by the way, Sully. If I know you've been around here for a while, but just so you know, Breech comes in and like somehow managed to make it about himself while also giving out a bold prediction that isn't really bold and stealing Wilson's thunder. Classic Breech.
Welcome to the party, Sully.
Yeah. It's like doing the project and like kind of doing a little bit of work, but still getting the A.
Yeah.
Hey, Wilson, tell Sully about the time that you did the 100 things to know or the 90.
Oh my God. I was literally about to tell Sully that story. You're reading my mind.
Do it.
So I'll tell you the 10-second version of this. This was the Super Bowl in New York City, and Breech went out with all the Seahawks beat reporters the night before. This is his first time apparently out of the house in 35 years. He got home at 4 a.m. Eastern time. He was on West Coast time. I had the flu that week, literally had the swine flu. I had to get up at 8 a.m. and write 52 things about the Super Bowl because it was whatever version of the Super Bowl it was. And I texted and called Breech. I'm OCD, probably 50 times. He got back to me and in the most Brinson way possible, like 2 p.m. Like, oh, sorry, man. I just woke up. I would have been more upset, but I was so sick.
In the most Brinson way possible?
Well, you just sort of left me hanging while you were having a good time.
Wait, what?
I said Breech left me hanging while he was having a good time.
Oh, right. So, okay, I see what you're saying. That's fair. I'll take that one.
Okay, I didn't think that was too far afield there. But anyway, all right, let's go. Let's get going with this thing here. Well, we've made enough fun of Breech for the moment.
All right. Well, we just do a quick recap. Look, you spent the time on the spreadsheet. Why don't you give us the?
Okay, I don't know. Do you guys know how your bowl predictions played out? Because I'm not sure. I didn't write those down. I was too busy scribbling.
I wrote down everyone's.
Okay, so I can tell you how mine played out, and I can tell you what the grades we gave each other, and then Breech can fill in the gaps. Okay, so we'll go quickly. Let's do this in 5 minutes. Seahawks, San Francisco. I said my bold prediction was Geno throws for 300, runs for 50, has 3 combined touchdowns. Actually, what happened? Geno threw for 253, rushed for 28, had 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, to Breech's point, that's about 75% of the way there. I didn't get it. Breech, what else you got?
Sullivan's prediction was that Christian McCaffrey would have over 200 yards from scrimmage. He had 136.
Ooh.
So not bad at all. Brinson's prediction was that Brock Purdy would throw at least 1 interception that would make Wilson cringe. Purdy threw 0 interceptions.
Ooh.
My prediction was that Christian McCaffrey would rush for 185 yards. He rushed for 119.
So does Sully win that one?
I say it's close between me and you, Wilson, huh?
All right, we'll take it.
Although Breech and I mean,
yeah, I got 119 out of 185.
Ripped off that huge run. I thought we were golden.
All right, we'll come back to this. Go. Okay, L.A. Chargers, Jacksonville.
I think me and Sully tie for that one.
All right, we'll
I
get
had something crazy with like 800 total yards. I don't think that happened.
No, you had
Herbert didn't have many passing yards.
Yeah, I'm getting to that now. We're getting onto that now. So Chargers, Jacksonville. I had Herbert, Trevor Lawrence combined for 600 yards, 6 touchdowns, 561 and 5. Not bad. What do you got, Breech?
That is pretty good. For Sullivan, we have Jacksonville blows out the Chargers. We asked him to give a specific number for blowout. He said 14 to 17 points. Brinson said that Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert would each throw for 400 yards. Both guys failed to throw for 300. And then we have...
look, just, in my defense, Herbert,
We're not defending picks here. I'm just running through them.
All I'm saying is that Lawrence wouldn't stop throwing interceptions in his own red zone, which meant that Herbert couldn't get any passing yards because they started inside the 20 every time.
That's how Jesus wanted to play out. You have to talk with him about that.
I will talk to him about it.
I had Travis Etienne rushing for 200 yards, and he rushed for 109.
See, Breech is going to try and claim that he was right on that.
No, halfway there. I'll take it.
No.
Wilson won that in a slam dunk.
Yeah.
All right, yes. Buffalo, Miami. I said Dawson Knox would have more yards and touchdowns than Tyreek Hill. Did not come close. Knox had 1 touchdown. Tyreek had 0. But Tyreek had one of his best games ever against the Dolphins. Against the Bills. 7 for 69, and Knox only went 3 for 30. If he caught that touchdown in the back of the end zone, it might have gotten a little more interesting. But I don't suspect I'll win this. What do you got, Breech?
Sullivan had me and Sullivan sucked here. I'll tell you that.
All right.
First, Tyler had the Dolphins will score in single digits. And I tried to one-up him by saying the Dolphins would get shut out. But you know what? In our defense, the Dolphins offense did only put up 230 yards, so I felt like the root of our prediction was okay, but the point thing blew up. Brinson.
Hold on. What do you want to say, Sully?
We were also just talking about the first quarter. I mean, that was really what it was. That was it.
Up. Sorry, I let you talk. And let me say quickly, Breech, this is Brinson's chance to win. This is his opportunity. We're all down on the mat.
And he threw it away with Mike Glennon throwing 2 touchdown passes.
Oh my God, that was that game. He doubled down and lost.
So I guess Wilson wins because at least half your prediction was correct with the touchdowns.
All right, I'll take it. All right, Giants, Minnesota. I said Daniel Jones puts up more yards and total yards and fewer turnovers than Kirk Cousins. DJ finished with 301 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 78 rush yards. Kirby Cousins finished 273, 2 touchdowns, 1 rush yard. No interceptions between them. So I got 2 out of 3.
Sully for that game had Daniel Jones throws for 400 yards, 301, 75% of the way there. Brinson for that game had Kenny Golladay catches 2 touchdown passes. Golladay did not have a single catch. And I had the Giants sack Kirk Cousins 8 times. Kirk Cousins did not get sacked a single time.
Is that another Wilson W?
I think that's a Wilson W.
Holy crap.
What was mine again?
You said that Mike Glennon with our 2 touchdown passes to Kenny Golladay.
in the Giants-Vikings game, no less.
All right, finally, Baltimore. Not finally. We have 2 more games. Baltimore, Cincinnati. I said Burrow gets sacked 6 times. He got sacked 4 times.
Then we have Sullivan, who said the Bengals would blow out the Ravens, and then added that Lamar would be done in Baltimore, which is interesting because Lamar Jackson was not at the game and has also been posting cryptic messages this week on social media.
He's playing for an incomplete.
I don't know if I'd call him cryptic so much. Just like,
well, they're pretty straight up.
Games, yeah.
It makes it look like a separation's at least within the realm of possibility. Brinson, the jury is still out on his prediction because he has the Bengals winning the Super Bowl, but they're still alive.
I thought we made fun of Sully for not making specific games.
Well, we did. We roasted Brinson last week.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then my prediction was that Joe Burrow would have 450 passing yards. He did not even get half of that. So
I was 2/3 of the way to 6. Am I going to win again?
Yeah, it's like Wilson's 4 out of 5 here.
All right, here we go.
I know I did not win this last one, so it might.
Well, you guys made fun of me when I said you have to balance. Where's Breech going? What happened to him?
He doesn't want to listen to all the predictions that
I said. You have to balance reality.
This way you don't give control of the stream to somebody who flips their pin constantly during the podcast.
I said you have to balance reality with these bold predictions with being crazy, and no one wanted to listen to me. You made fun of the old man, so joke's on you guys. All right, last one. Cowboys, Buccaneers. Thank God I didn't say that the Cowboys would get blown out. I said Dak and Tom would combine for 9 touchdowns, both pass and run. They ended up with 6.
Yes. They ended up with 7. Don't short yourself.
Oh, 7? Where'd the 7th come from? I had 4 plus 1 for Dak, and
Tom had 2.
Tom had 2.
Oh,
and he would have had 3 if Mike Evans did not drop a touchdown with like 1:10 left toward the end
7.
on a really long throw.
Thank you, Breech, for your honesty.
7 out of 9 for Wilson. Well, I'm helping you because Sully's winning this one no matter what.
Dang it.
Sully's prediction was that the Cowboys would absolutely destroy the Buccaneers. Didn't give a point total, but when you use the word destroy, I think we all can agree that happened. On the flip side, Brinson's prediction was that the Buccaneers would rout the Cowboys by 4 touchdowns. And my prediction was that the Cowboys will lose on a pick 6 thrown by Dak Prescott, who not only did not throw a pick 6, but he did not throw a single interception in the game. So I would say that one goes to Sully.
Well done. So
Sully gets 1.5 points. Me and him split the first one,
Like it.
and Wilson gets 4 points, and I get a half point.
All right, write that down, Breech. You can be the official scorekeeper as we go through this thing. Imagine saying your bold prediction was a Dak Prescott wouldn't throw an interception.
Oh!
I don't know what that was for, but no one would believe you, and it actually happened. All right, so we're on to the divisional round. Why is it Super Wild Card Weekend, and there's no Wild Card Weekend in between that and the divisional round?
Like they go from Super Wild Card to regular Wild Card to divisional round.
Is there regular? Yeah, right. Why isn't there that?
Why isn't it super
talking
divisional?
Because it used
What
to
are
be
you
wild.
talking about?
It
It was
used
just
to
a wild card, and then they added super because they added more teams. There's no extra teams in the divisional round. Still the same number.
Just call it wild card. I mean, nothing's changed.
Yeah, everyone would like that more, but the NFL's wanted to be super.
It has to
I
be
think
super.
Sully's onto something. Super divisional, and then super
no,
conference
no,
for
championship.
week 18.
I just call it joke divisional.
Super week 18.
I mean,
super,
now-
you just
super
gotta have all of it.
preseason.
If you
Super
want
bye.
to add 2 more teams to the playoffs and then add 6 teams to the divisional round with buys, then you can call it the super divisional round.
No, we get
Otherwise-
we get it. We're just making a super joke.
If we expand
I
it
know.
again, do you have to go better than super?
What's better than super,
Super
Breech?
duper.
I don't know. Super,
Super
duper.
duper.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Super,
Gotta add the duper.
really super.
Super duper.
All right, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Saturday at 4:30. Who wants to go first?
We're doing snake draft so that I don't go last every time like
That's
I did
smart.
last week.
All right, I got one. I'll go first.
Should the winner of last round go, or the super round go first, or should the loser? The loser should go first. You're right. Go ahead.
I've just got a good one. I'm gonna let me go.
Go for it. Are you writing these down, Breech?
Yep.
Okay.
Andy Reid
Off the bye.
runs the Philly special for a touchdown on Doug Peterson.
Oh boy. All right, that's an L. Move on.
That's
There's
a
no-
great one.
All right, well, let's grade them. Let's not just make fun of you. Let's
That is
grade
the
'em.
ultimate. It would be such a troll job if Andy Reid, coming off the bye against his old backup quarterback and his old offensive coordinator Doug Peterson, runs the play that Doug Peterson used to win Philly's first Super Bowl that Andy Reid couldn't win, and then subsequently, because he won in Kansas City, his own Super Bowl.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll just repeat what I said at the beginning of the last show. Some of this needs to be sort of based on reality. You can go as wild as you want to go, but just keep that in mind when you're handing out grades. I appreciate the boldness.
I think it's based in reality. I'll give it an
All
A
right.
because this is
Whoa!
a team
Thank you,
that in the Chiefs that just did a ring around the rosy play in wherever that was, week 18.
Week 18,
Super
they
week
do all this
18.
game
They
that
do
they
all
were
this weird stuff.
dominating against their division rival who they hate for really no reason. They could have saved
I-
that play.
I
All right,
love
Breech.
that Wilson's bashing the absurdity of Brinson's prediction and Sully gives it an A. That's amazing.
What are you doing,
Uh,
Breech?
I give it a B. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. I think it's good.
All right.
D minus from Wilson.
Tebow, what would you give it?
That's an F.
That's how you know it's good.
I'm gonna give it a C plus because it's like the ring around the rosy thing, even by Andy Reid standards, that felt out of left field. No? Yes? Maybe? All right. So Brinson, you have a combined score on your first bowl prediction of 86. If that were your GPA, you'd be quite happy with that.
Oh my God, my dad would have given me a new car if I showed up with an 86. My freshman
All right. So snake draft. So next to last. So Breech, why don't you go next since we're going reverse point order from the first round?
My prediction is that Patrick Mahomes throws twice as many interceptions as Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
There you go.
We don't have to press you on a number. Do we? You just want to keep it as
Just
double?
twice as many. I mean, I think the most logical one is probably 2 and 1, but and we can argue about if I win this if it's 1 and 0, even though that is infinite and not
Nice.
divisible by 2.
There
But
you
we can. I
Divisible
just
by
think
0,
that
but yes. Good job.
I do think that Mahomes is going to throw more interceptions. That is my bold prediction.
Brinson, what's your vote on that?
I'll give you a B minus. I really didn't listen to what you said. I just wanted to give you a low grade.
What if Mahomes throws 8 interceptions and he still doesn't win? That would be hysterical. Go ahead, Sully.
I'll give it a B.
Well, he throws at least twice as many. That's the.
You're changing. Interesting. That cost you a letter grade. I'll give you a B as well.
I'll
So
take it.
Breech got a
83 and a third. So Breech, you were behind. You're
that's an
last.
83. We don't round up on this podcast.
You're last in the class, Breech. All right, go ahead, Sully.
All right, I will go with Trevor Lawrence, and I will say he throws 5 passing touchdowns in this game. He
Whoa!
threw 4 last week, obviously, with the 4 interceptions. I say that because Kansas City gave up the most passing touchdowns this season, and their red zone percentage ranked 31st in the NFL. They gave up touchdowns 67-ish% of the time when they got there. Trevor Lawrence is throwing a bunch of touchdowns in this game that they're probably trailing.
You can tell that Sully's new here because he showed up with research to back up his bold prediction.
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to say
nine quarterbacks have thrown it for 5? The 3 quarterbacks have thrown for 6.
All right,
Okay,
Millhouse,
now-
we get it. You did your homework.
I'm gonna give you
I think I'm getting
Yeah, we
a letter,
need
I think I'm
A-minus.
getting decreased because I did research.
no. I'm gonna give you an A-. It would
Okay.
be a straight A, except I think you could have gone with and the Jaguars win. Now, obviously, that would
Okay.
make it more difficult to get it correct. But if you get
I think Sully's smart in that he's not adding a bunch of qualifiers, which is going to be my
no, but I'm
downfall.
just saying, like if Trevor Lawrence has 5 passing touchdowns, then either one, the Jaguars win, or this game is going way over.
Well, he threw 4 and they should have lost if not for Joe Lombardi, who is no longer employed. Breach, what's your grade?
Don't pin this on.
I
don't pin
will
Frank
give
Scaly's
it
problems on Joe Lombardi.
an A-.
Okay.
I
Go ahead. Sully.
I'll just say real quick that the last quarterback besides Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, like obviously 2 huge stars, to throw 5 touchdown passes in a playoff game was during the 2017 season when Wilson's boy Benjamin Roethlisberger did it in a loss to Jacksonville. So kind of come full circle.
Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. They were down by 800 points and came back like they typically do and lost. I'm giving you an A, Sully. So now you are first in the class. Breach, you remain last in the class.
Ridiculous.
You have a 92, Sully. Congratulations. All right, here's my bold prediction. Patrick Mahomes.
Nerd.
100%. He's got a sweater on and everything.
Should put
Patrick
the
Mahomes
glasses
throws
on, too.
2 interceptions, loses a fumble, throws for 350 with 3 touchdowns. Kansas City wins. Jacksonville covers.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, who has the 3 turnovers?
So all you have to do is
Patrick
take
Mahomes, he has to throw 2 picks, lose a fumble, throw 3 touchdowns. Kansas City wins. Jacksonville covers.
all you have to do is look at Josh Allen's numbers last week against Miami. That's what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, lose a fumble, 350. They win but don't cover. So that's 18 qualifiers.
Yeah,
So
I'll give it a B+ because I think it's bold. It's so specific that it's bold. It's something that it's almost something. It's like the opposite of what Breech would do. You really you painted yourself into a corner. It's something I would do with all these qualifiers. Where like if he throws for 325 and fumbles once, throws 2 picks, and throws 3 touchdowns, and the Chiefs win but the Jaguars cover, you still don't get it. So B+ just because it's creative and bold and.
So I likened it to the Josh Allen situation because we've talked about these guys together throughout the season, but also coming into last week's game, Breach, Josh Allen was 14 touchdowns, 1 interception in the postseason. That went sideways. Patrick Mahomes in his playoff career, 5-0, 14 pass touchdowns, 1 interception in the wild card and divisional rounds. So a little symmetry there. That's why I decided to see if Mahomes could replicate those numbers. All right.
But before we move on, just want to point out the total in this game 53. The Chiefs -8.5. The general consensus I'm getting here is that you 3 probably think the Chiefs win, but the Jaguars cover.
For the purpose of this bet, I do. I think that the Chiefs could roll.
Chiefs have been keeping a lot of teams close throughout the year. They were actually one of the worst teams to bet on this year. So yeah, that's what I think.
Hard not to like the over at 53. It's a lot of points. But like, I mean,
I just said Trevor Lawrence is going to throw 5 touchdowns. So yeah,
well,
I like the over.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's sort of what I was getting at too. Is
Look, it went 35-0.
That's also true, I guess. That's bold.
That would be something. I gotta give you an F for that because if the Jaguars shut out Patrick Mahomes and scored 35 points on the Chiefs defense, like that would be the wildest thing that happened in the NFL this year. And there's been some really weird stuff that's happened this season. I tend to lean towards the over. I think Kansas City's going to win and cover. I know they haven't covered a lot this season. They've been bad against the spread. Andy Reid's coming off the bye though. The matchup with his old guy Doug Peterson. I like the Chiefs in this spot. I think.
All right, Breach,
That didn't sound very bold for a bold predictions podcast, Brinson.
That wasn't I already gave my bold prediction. That was just
We were analyzing.
We were
analyzing part of
What
Wilson.
was your grade for Wilson?
he said B+ 10 minutes
B+.
ago.
Well,
just
yeah,
gave
then he went on a rant, so I got lost. I don't know what's
Luke
going on.
Breech's grade that I gave him down to a C-.
It's written.
I
in
give
there.
Brinson an F for his off-topic rant.
All right, go ahead. Give me a grade so we can get on with this thing.
I give you a B- because I don't even remember half the things you said.
I give you an A- because I like
Thank
how
you.
specific it is.
Although I will say I don't think Patrick Mahomes lost a fumble this season, so that part is bold. And he only had one game the whole year where he had multiple interceptions, over 350 yards passing.
Give him a lower grade then.
All right.
Give him B-.
You gave me B-. That's pretty low.
All right, we go Giants, Eagles next. Giants at the Eagles.
I'm first
Eagles.
because they're doing the snake draft.
Eagles minus 7.5, a total of 48. By the way, lowest total this weekend for divisional round, 46.5. It's notable mainly because, and we talked about this last night, but like, I mean, 3 of these games are in potential bad weather spots for divisional round games, outdoors. All 4 of them are outdoors, but 3 of them in bad weather spots, Buffalo, Philly, and Kansas City, and still huge totals for these games, probably because 5 of 6 of their games so far this playoffs have gone over. Wilson, your bold prediction for Giants Eagles.
All right, Debo, if you have to go to the bathroom, now would be the time. Giants are 14-8 as a playoff underdog since 1970, including 8-1 since 2007. That is the best in the national period, football period, league period. I'm taking the Giants to win. And on top of that, as Debo punches his Ryan Wilson voodoo doll, Daniel Jones runs for more yards than Jalen Hurts.
Oh, see. Oh, man. I'm going to give you a B+.
All right, I'll take that.
I think that you could have just come out of the gates with Danny Dimes runs for more yards than Jalen Hurts, and you would have got an A from me. The Giants winning, of course, is very, very bold. Like one of those two would have been a great bold prediction.
Quickly, let me remind you.
I'm docking you for the process, not for
I
me.
understand. I'm fine with that. Breech, what was the score last round?
What?
Who got the most points and who got the least points last round?
Ryan Wilson got the most points in Super Wildcard.
Who got the least points?
Brinson scored 0.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. I appreciate the B+.
Oh!
All right. Breach or Sully, go ahead.
So we're looping around, so them to Sully, then to me.
Well, we're just doing the votes first. Got to vote on this.
Oh, yeah.
You get a
Give
B+
a grade.
from me.
What, B+?
Oh, thank you. B+ from Sully.
All right, so wait, so I give a B+, and you proceed to murder me. Sully gives you a B+, and you say, thank you, Sully.
I give it a nice way.
I went up to the front of the room and did the math problem. And you're like, well, actually, this is what you're supposed to do with the math problem this way. I was like, wait, you got a 0 in the last test. So shut up.
Oh, that's fair.
Breach, what's your
I
vote?
am going to give it a B.
You're a
It's
hard
all
grader.
salty Breach today.
Yeah, he is. All right. So next is Sully.
This is what happens when you lose your starting left tackle.
Ouch.
Pissy Breach.
Here comes
All right,
passive.
I will go with Miles Sanders becomes the 4th Eagle to ever rush for at least 200 yards in a game.
Did you
That's
say
where I'm
about
at.
Christian McCaffrey too? Are you still stuck on 200 yards?
Yeah, I don't know why, actually. That's
Okay.
a good point. I didn't even connect those two. But yes, that's true. He ran for 144 yards back in week 14 against this team.
Hold on,
New
before
York-
you give the other 3, I want to Debo, do you know who the other 3 are?
Oh, yeah.
That's a no. He's scrambling.
Wilbert,
Montgomery.
is he one of them?
Nope.
Shady McCoy.
Yep.
Shady's got to be. I mean,
Shady has the record at 217.
Deuce or Westbrook.
We got Deuce has
great
201.
Great call on Deuce.
And Van Buren has 205.
We going old school.
Who was the last one?
Steve Van Buren.
Buren.
Aaron
gosh.
Byrne.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Brits, you want to vote on this? 200 yards for Miles Sanders.
B.
Man, that was very
Ooh.
contemplative.
Suspenseful.
It was, right? Breach, what do you got?
There have been 4 running backs hit 200 yards in the divisional round over the past
go.
10 years. So it's not easy. So I'm going to give it a B.
All right. Well, actually, Oscar Martinez over here looking things up in a hurry. I'll give it a B+ just because I appreciate Sully's company. All right, go ahead, Breach.
I'm up. Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna say the Giants win, just like Wilson does. And like Wilson, I'm adding a second part of that prediction, and that is that AJ Brown is held under 45 receiving yards, which only happened twice during the entire regular season. And that is my 2-part prediction.
That is bold.
Wow.
Under 45.
Under 45? You're muted.
If he hits 45, that counts. 45 or less.
So under 46.
We'll give you 40. Yeah. I'm not sure you know how under works, but we'll give that to you.
Yeah, 45 or less.
I was about to give you an A. I'm giving you a B- because you don't know the difference between 45 and 46. All right, I'll give you an A, Breech. That's actually a pretty good one. I mean, I just yell and scream about things not happening, but I do feel like that maybe that could happen. I don't know.
I mean, Justin Jefferson.
Here's the important thing to note. This is quintessential Breech. He has multiple outs here. There's 3 outs. 1, AJ Brown gets double coverage and just doesn't catch a bunch of passes. 2, Devontae Smith racks up the receiving yards. 3, the Eagles run the ball so well that they don't throw a lot, and they smoke the Giants. And it's all.
But then I lose because I need the Giants to win. That's part of the prediction.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, he said Giants win.
Maybe nothing.
Multi answer. All right, I'm giving you an A. What'd you say, Brinson?
F. Give me an
For
F.
real? F as in Frank.
Brinson cannot hand out grades. That's it.
Sully, what do you got?
I'll give you a B+. I like it.
That saved your semester right there, Breech, because you're about to have to retake this class.
You couldn't fill in.
No, Brinson's the guy who became a professor because he used a fake resume, and now people are on to him. That's what's happening right now.
Oh man,
Breech, what is the record for most receiving yards in a divisional round game? I know the record for NFL playoffs is Eric Moulds, right, with 240.
And just the divisional
round. I know you have that in front of you.
I do not have it in front of me.
Really? You always have those records in front of you.
Well, if you'd have told me, do you have a prediction? And is it going to be that somebody breaks the divisional round record?
It's going to be AJ Brown. That's why I gave you an F.
Oh my God. That is why it stinks to go last.
Yep. I'll see if I can find the division round. I say that AJ Brown goes for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Eagles win by double digits.
Well, the good news is one of you is probably gonna end up winning this bowl prediction.
You could just go for like 75. And
wait, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Eagles win
by double digits.
By double digits. Got it. Okay.
So Wilson, while Breech looks up this record, why don't you give me a grade?
200 yards, double digits. Did I hear that right?
200 yards, 3 touchdowns, double digits.
Good Lord. All right. I mean, that feels like a bridge too far. I'll give you a B for audacity.
What did you get Breech for under 45? I feel like 200 is a better shot than under 45.
What are you going to say, Breech?
Divisional round record is 227.
Who's that?
228 yards. Eagles win by double digits.
Well, don't do that. I don't want to.
He's going to break the record for most receiving yards in a divisional round game.
Okay. I'll give you a B+ for boldness.
Thank you.
I gave Breech an A. I felt sorry for him because he's about to fail.
He's
about to fail the semester. A- from Sully. Breech, do you want to pay back the F or do you want to be a gentleman?
I give him an incomplete. I don't even count it. It's lower than an F.
Well, that won't factor. That's actually better than that. That means I'm going to average out between.
I give him an F-.
Okay.
With 2 minus signs.
I was going to be a gentleman and offer to bump you up to the D or C range out of respect, depending on what you gave me. But now I give you an F with 3 minuses.
There are no take backs on the grades. Once they're in, they're in. They're in the system.
Sorry, Brinson. You didn't give me any minuses, but you got 2.
Just for F
is just it's 60 or below. It's just that's all it is. It's
just for the sake of knowing everything. Breech, you finished this semester, this round of bowl predictions with this game, Giants, Eagles, 79. Brinson, you got 78. So you finished last in the class.
Please add the 3rd minus to Breech's grade. All right, let's take a break when we come back. The Sunday games, bowl predictions. Next, Cincinnati at the Bills. 3 p.m.? Is that right?
3 p.m., which I thank you, baby Jesus, for that. I appreciate that. 3 and 6.
Oh God, this is like the best recap. This is the recap podcast that we live for all year long. We stay up till 2 a.m. on Sunday nights for like 20 straight weeks. And then finally, they throw us a bone on divisional round weekend and give us the final game of the week at 6:30 p.m. I'm surprised the NFL didn't like slot some sort of like exhibition game in at like 9 o'clock at night on Sunday.
Or do like a Pro Bowl reveal from 6 to 8. And then that nonsense.
So he has to live blog it and then podcast it.
I was getting some bad flashbacks right there. I was like, oh no.
Hey, so you're doing the live blog. It's just like next on team Chris Carter.
Sully,
Mitchell Trubisky.
Another quick stroll down memory lane for me when I first started here in 2011. Like I ended up doing, and Breech actually helped me by the end. Someone else in this podcast never, ever, ever in the history of CBS Sports would cover the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Never covered it once.
I did it solo several years. Thankfully, that included writing up individual stories, having to listen to all those speeches, and running the live block. And as I mentioned, Breech helped out towards the end. Brinson, every August, whatever that was, had somewhere to be.
Says the guy who goes to play old man soccer in Asheville on Labor Day with a freaking cut. They hadn't been around for cuts. Final cuts of the preseason 20 years. I got a blog about live Yellow Jackets. All right, moving on. Cincinnati at Buffalo. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, here we go. Oh, wait, who's up? I think Breech is up. No, Brinson's up. Sorry.
Buffalo -5, total of 48. Lions ticked up a little bit with the Jonah Williams news. He's week to week, as we pointed out on Monday Night Show. That has typically not been great for Zach Taylor. Breech is up or Sully's up?
You're up because we were doing the snake draft.
No, Brinson already went first once.
I went first. First.
I thought
And you went first, second. So it's either me or Sully.
We have 4 games. We should rotate who goes first.
Okay, who do you want to go next?
So Wilson, who went first last time?
Either Sullivan or I.
All right.
It's the Bengals. So
Did they call you Sullivan?
Sullivan? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, but do people call you Sullivan? It's like Sully, right? Like,
Mostly Sully.
okay.
All right.
Like, there's one person you know that calls you Sullivan. It's John Breech, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Why can't I call him Sullivan? I call my brother Daniel, and I call my brother Joseph, and no one else does. And they're like, what? What are you doing?
All right. Jonathan Bray.
Go. Mason jar with water real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Here is my prediction. I don't want Brinson to hear, so I'm glad he's leaving. And this works out perfectly. My bold prediction is that Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, is held under 200 total yards.
Total.
Wow.
God dang, that's bold.
He was held under 200 total yards one time this season. So it did happen within the realm of possibility.
Extremely bold.
And the Bengals defense has been playing onions out in the playoffs.
Who was it against?
It was against the Jets. And the Bills actually won that game. 20-12.
I will give that an A-, Sully. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I'll be right there with you. I'll go A- as well. I mean, you're talking about a dude that should you're not light it up, but at least should have a respectable number. But he has been pressing. I mean, he hasn't been.
My bold prediction
really
is that Josh Allen gets under 50 yards and the Bills win by 2 touchdowns. That's not my bold prediction. We're just waiting for Brinson.
We'll just go reverse snake. Sully go next, and then Wilson, and then we'll make Brinson go last.
All right. Yeah, he can come back and vote on these as we go through them. All right, Sully. Oh, there he is.
Well, he's right here, so let him roll with it as he moseys on over.
Yeah. All right. Here's Breech's bold prediction. Josh Allen goes for under 200 total yards. It's happened once this year. Josh Allen versus the Jets. The Jets won that football game.
No, the Bills won.
Oh, that's the one the Bills won. Sorry.
Bills won, even though he was held under 200.
Look, I only gave you the F on the AJ Brown thing because I was going complete oppo, and I can't give you an A and then say he's going to break the record. So I'll give you an F minus. No, I'll give you a B for that, a B plus for that one.
Okay.
Like no B, because it would be a B plus, but I'm going to dock you a third of a letter grade here, Breech, because I should really dock you more, honestly. This is clearly rooted in wish casting from fantasy of yours, where the Bengals locked down Josh Allen and advanced to the AFC Championship game for the second year in a row. But you don't want to say that because you're worried you'll jinx it. So you're just saying Josh Allen's going to stink.
All right, I think Sully.
Or maybe I'm saying that the Bills run the ball a lot and
200 total yards.
James Cook and Mike Singletary have huge games.
I don't think you're saying that.
Sully, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Joe Burrow throws twice as many touchdowns as Josh Allen. Specifically, he throws 4, which is tying a career high. Josh Allen has 2. Bengals win.
So that's fine. I mean, if they do 5 and 3, then that's not twice as many, but it's still 2 more. So do you want to say 4 and 2, or do you want to say twice?
No, I want specifically 4 and 2. So he doubles them up.
Okay.
I would just say double up because at least that gives you 2 and 1 in play.
I would say he has at least 2 more touchdowns than Josh Allen.
Right. That's the broadest.
Or twice as many is fun.
Twice because you can go for 8.
Don't let them change your prediction, Sully. Don't let them change your
5 and 3 isn't twice as many.
Yeah, and that's part of the boldness of this. Is that if Josh Allen hits 3, then he probably won't win.
Josh Allen has 3 first quarter touchdowns. Sully's the dead man walking.
But if he only has 1, Sully wins if Burrow gets 2.
Okay.
So there's an out there.
I'll give that.
Sure, if Breech is giving you a loophole, you should probably take the loophole.
Yeah, exactly.
if you get a life jacket from Breech on a bold prediction loophole, you should absolutely take it.
I'll give that an A-. I like that.
Yeah, I'll give it. You know what? I'll give it an A- as well. I think it's a good prediction. Would have docked you a little bit for the manner in which you fumbled the explanation of it with the double and the 2 and all that. But then Breech again, life jacket, and the fact that Breech bailed you out says a lot about your prediction. I think so. A-.
Well, it absolutely does. I was thinking A- when he said the first part of it, and then I heard the second part, and he included the Bengals winning as a 5-point dog. A+. It's an A+.
Oh wow!
What a great prediction!
What a great person.
I would have not gotten that live vest if I had the Bills winning. That's for sure.
There's Josh Allen throws like Joe Burrow. He'd been like Breech would have found a way to like.
He would have
hand
been a
you
loophole to
rock.
bring it down.
He's like, here's a life vest, Sully. It's a rock.
And just to be clear, real life like Titanic situation, Breech is kicking you off the safety boat and taking the last life jacket. There's no qualm with that.
And Brinson is Billy Zane taking a baby and jumping on the boat so no one kicks him off.
Brinson is 100% Billy Zane. Yeah,
Never seen it.
You're 100%.
I think I saw it in theaters actually. Terrible.
Well, you need to go see it so you can understand all our jokes.
All right, here we go. I think I'm up, right? Brinson.
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Okay. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen combined for 5 turnovers.
Ooh.
That's it. No qualifiers. I'm just going 5 turnovers amongst them.
That is interesting.
I'll give you a B+.
Yeah. I'll take it.
I'll give you a B+. I think it's pretty vague, pretty generic, but it is bold, and you have multiple ways to get there. So I'll give you a B+.
Breech looks like he's about to slap me.
No, I'm going to give it an A-.
Yes.
Wow.
That is because you need both of them. You need either one to have a really, really, really bad game, or both of them to kind of have a bad game. Because even if they go 3-2, that's not great. So yeah, I like it.
I don't think I would have won the Jaguars Chargers game with that.
By the way, everyone now that Wilson's got this like intricate spreadsheet that automatically spits out grades, everyone's afraid to cross it.
Oh yeah, I could just be lying. But is that right?
You really could just be like, well, actually, Brinson, you had negative points and earned me $1,000.
I'm watching Ninjago here on Netflix. So Jaguars Chargers, there were only 4 turnovers in that game, right, from the quarterbacks?
No, because I think so. Jacksonville was minus.
They also turned over in the punt.
Yeah, but I mean among the quarterbacks. So I would have lost that bet with the quarterback situation in that game. All right, Brinson, what do you got?
Oh man, I'm gonna say that T. Higgins scores the first touchdown of this game and pulls up his jersey to reveal a Damar Hamlin shout out.
All right, that is incredibly specific because the thing about that is though that even if he scores the 5th touchdown and pulls his shirt up wearing Damar Hamlin, you're still going to win. So I don't even know if you need to have the touchdown qualifier, but if you want to throw it in there for fun, that's okay.
You should go anytime touchdown.
Ooh.
Damar Hamlin.
Okay.
That's much better.
T. Higgins scores a touchdown at some point in this game and celebrates. But now I'm really mad if it's the first touchdown. I backed off. But celebrates with some sort of shout out recognition.
So not a shirt. You're backing off of that as well.
I mean, I think it'll be like
it has to be a shirt. I mean,
like in the NFL. Imagine, I dare you to find him for that NFL. I dare you to find him if he does.
I'm not gonna find him for that. But what is your bold prediction?
Oh, it's when remember like Roddy White pulled up his shirt. He had like Vic written on the undershirt. I think he'll have like a number 3 Hamlin shirt on underneath his jersey to pull up and he scores a touchdown.
Okay. He can't just like score a touchdown and then like throw up the 3 or something.
No,
that's
okay.
Or you can't do the hard either. That's not gonna work. By the way, I'm gonna give you D-. If you said first touchdown, I would have given you A+. I'm kidding. I'll give you B+. Relax. Sully or Breech, what do you want to give old Brinson there?
I'll go with you, Wilson. B+.
Chat.
I'll just make it straight B+ across the board.
Okay.
All right. I mean, what if I go? I see. Wait, you guys docked me after talking me out of first touchdown, losers.
If it makes
should
you
have
feel
gone for it. Sully tricked you.
If it makes you feel
He
better,
threw the life vest and then pulled it away and watched you drown, man. That was
he threw me a rock. He threw me a rock.
If it makes you feel any better, you finished last in the grading in that round.
The freaking like little grasshopper to Breech's sensei. Breech's his sensei. This guy's throwing me rocks off this lifeboat.
So Sully is the favorite with his bowl prediction in that round. So he's got something to live up to.
I think it is Sully's turn to go first.
Do we? It kind of felt like we had a little bit of a consensus there that Cincinnati's going to win the game.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm leaning that way.
The offensive line stuff really worries me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like I say all the time, like anyone's built for that, it feels like Joe Burrow. Look at
Bengals 0-3 this season. Burrow sacked 5 times or more. Bengals 13-1 when he is sacked less than 5 times.
So do you think
last week was 4.
that's the curious thing about this game too? Like, do you think that they will try to run the ball more to counteract the offensive line stuff, or do you think they'll just try to do the quick hitting passing stuff? Because to me, like if your offensive lines, if you're missing all these offensive line pieces, I mean, again, I know that we're sort of in on Zach Taylor now, mostly because of the way that they handled the Buffaloes. Like, I mean, seriously, like that changed everyone's opinion of Zach Taylor. Like we're not clowning the guy anymore. And I do think that like that was an impressive leadership showing. I do wonder about the offensive approach though here, because if you try to just pound Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine against a decent Buffalo defense with no offensive line, instead, like I think they should just come out and let Joe Burrow get the ball out quick and like sling it around.
Well, the crazy thing, Brinson, is I feel like the Bengals, obviously that game only lasted 5 minutes back in week 17. But I really feel like the Bengals gave the Bills a lot to think about. Joe Burrow had a perfect QB rating. He only threw 4 passes, but it was for like 55 yards and a touchdown. And so you now have Sean McDermott probably going back to the drawing board like, whoa, like that was kind of crazy. We got diced up. We don't want that to happen. So I think it will be interesting to see if the Bengals looked like they were going to run a pass-heavy offense, but maybe they're going to flip things around to try and keep the Bills on their toes.
I mean, there was zero fear from the Bengals in that game. They took the ball to start the game. They were throwing it all over the field. I think that they like this matchup. I know obviously the offensive line is going to be a huge issue, but I think they have a little bit of swagger going into this more than other teams than going into Buffalo.
And the Bills' run defense has not been great, so we'll see how the offensive line works out.
The other thing too, I think that is interesting. Dom in the chat asked, "Do you think the Bills fans will cheer the Bengals when they come on the field?" That's an interesting one. They should, right? I mean, right?
I don't know if they'll cheer, but there won't be any boos. There won't be any boos, but I don't know if they'll cheer. It's still a divisional playoff game.
And by the way, look, it's also worth pointing out here, the Bengals got screwed here. I know the Bills won more games. I get it. The Bills won more games than the Bengals did. But the Bengals, by virtue of a pure, selfless act of sportsmanship for another team, sacrificed a chance to be hosting this divisional game in Cincinnati by beating the Bills and getting the number 2 seed. And the NFL, even though the game was canceled, declined to do a neutral field, even though they would have done that for Buffalo and KC. They declined to give them a coin flip opportunity, which they were going to do with Cincinnati and Baltimore. And if I'm the Bengals, and I know we've heard the stuff coming out of the front office and leaking out of Cincinnati, I'm still pissed about it. And I'm not saying you're mad about like the way that the game got canceled. I'm just mad that the NFL jammed us on the coin flip thing with Baltimore. They had to win that. And then jammed them again on having to go to Buffalo for a divisional round game that they didn't have a chance on the field to win home field advantage for. That's all I'm saying. Bengals fans, I got your back. Even though John Breech won't stand up against the NFL because he's too big a sycophant to Roger Goodell.
You know what I was going to go on a rant on that with my picks column that came out Tuesday morning. I decided not to because it's the thing is the Bengals have a chip on their shoulder because of that. It is what it is. There's no changing it now. And obviously very extenuating circumstances. But the bottom line is if the NFL was going to change the rules, which is what they, if they just let the rules stand, no one's arguing about the Bengals going to Buffalo. They're just saying, okay, well, that's what would have happened. And obviously
if Buffalo has to go to KC, and the Bengals and Baltimore has to go to Cincinnati, like just normal. No one's. I mean, everybody's like, you know what? That sucks, but it's the deal.
Right. This is a horrible
the Bengals
situation.
feel like they got screwed on both sides.
Right. But if you're going to change the rules, then you should do your best to kind of placate everybody, and the NFL didn't do that.
Agreed. All right. Finally, the Dallas Cowboys, fresh off taking all of my money and ruining my 6-game parlay and a potential chance of being perfect. Straight up picks in the first round of the playoffs by beating Tom Brady.
Wait a second. You said straight up picks like you're John Breech? Is that what you just said?
6-0 with 3 underdogs have been pretty good.
Brinson went
How the mighty have fallen.
I thought you went 5-1. Are you sure?
I said they just ruined it.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Me and Brinson both needed Tampa to win to go 6-0.
Straight up champs or straight up chumps? What's up?
I went 6-0 in my picks straight up.
What? Oh! Throw it in our face. And Wilson, for the record, Wilson went 3-3.
I'm just stopping by to say, fire Ryan Wilson.
That's what Brinson falls asleep to, by the way.
I can't believe you have your own theme song, Wilson. That's it right there.
I think it goes on for like 3.5 minutes.
I thought it was like the Grinch theme song for a second.
No, do you know what that was, Sully? By the way, I don't know if you know
The
that.
TikTok thing, right?
Yeah, TikTok thing. For those who don't know, if you're watching the show at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, whatever time we're doing this on a Tuesday, you probably know that Wilson was once dragged for an entire offseason on TikTok by some tweens.
By a bunch of
We're
12-year-olds.
probably getting to that season pretty soon too, right? Like super mock drafts and all that. Like
Super. Thank you for throwing the
I might hire
Super
people.
mock
I might
draft?
hire like a little cabal of like high school kids
bots, basically.
just to harass Wilson on TikTok.
Not to hurt your feelings, those teenagers might be hiring you to do that.
Ooh.
Sully like that. Thanks for the courtesy laugh, Sully. I appreciate
Sorry,
it.
I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna win this underdog gauntlet, and I'm just gonna disappear off the face of the planet.
Oh, then you found $20.
You're not
What's
gonna
next?
see me again.
I hope good luck to you, brother. All right, what's next? Cowboys.
I think it's me.
All right,
So-
Cowboys, San Fran,
Cowboys.
Sunday night.
Niners minus 3.5, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday evening. Over under 46.5. Sully, you're up first with the bowl predictions.
And it's that CD Lamb takes Travarius Ward to school to the tune of 3 touchdowns.
Whoa.
3 touchdowns. So what? So give me the numbers this season. What's the best CD has done in that? Do you have that in front of you?
So I don't have that in front of me. Hang
Oh,
on.
that's
I
the
do.
one
I
you
do
don't
have.
have.
I do have last week. I do have last week that Travarius Ward was getting absolutely cooked by DK Metcalf.
True.
2 touchdowns, 136 yards, 10 receptions. A lot of that was against Ward. And you can beat the 49ers deep. As good as this defense has been, that's one weakness that you can attack them with. And Dallas certainly has that capability with Lamb.
Two games of 2 touchdowns, 9 on the season for CD
gosh.
Lamb, including actually there's not that includes one last night. I think. So maybe
10 games with 0 touchdowns. Yeah, boy, that is
a
bold.
lot without Dak though.
Look, man, we don't know what's going to happen.
So including last night's touchdown, he had is that right? No, he had 9 in the regular season. Why are these stats so hard to figure out? I had 1 last night, of course. He had 1, 2, 3. He had 1 game with 150 yards or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of 100+ yards. Dak missed some games, of course.
And I'll add this. This is CD Lamb. That would be CD Lamb's career high.
All right, I'm going to give you. I appreciate the boldness. I'm going to give you a B. That's it.
I'm going to give you a B- because you did
a little too rich for my blood.
I'll throw in
back it up.
another
the other side.
Another fun fact there is that, again, over the past 10 years, 3 receiving touchdowns in any playoff game has only happened 3 times.
What's your grade
And,
there, buddy?
The last one was by Gabe Davis against the Chiefs last season. My grade is B+.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
What was everybody else's grade?
B-. B-.
Okay.
All right. Who's next? You, Breech?
I guess I can go next. I'll go last because I haven't gone last, and I complained last week about going last all the time, so I can go last once.
All right. Do you want to go, Brinson, or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
Go for it.
Christian McCaffrey.
Goes for 200 yards.
Yes.
That's it.
100 receiving and 100 rushing.
Oh my gosh, he's revitalizing the
And a
the
rushing
story
and
there.
receiving touchdown.
Oh gosh, why'd you have to keep
You
adding
adding
on?
anything more now? Hold on. I felt like that was
I
like
think it's for 100 and 100. He's probably going to get one of each. I mean, I feel like
What undershirt is he gonna be wearing? A Brock Purdy undershirt?
it's very disrespectful to a man who nearly lost his life on the football field, Ryan.
No, it's not. It's very respectful to Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. All right, so what is again? 100, 100, and what's the last one you added?
200 total yards from scrimmage,
a touchdown each way.
2 touchdowns, 1 each way. It's called the CMC each way.
One each way. You mean catching
Receiving,
and
1 rushing.
oh, I didn't. When Sully pointed, I
1
thought you meant,
passing and 1 passing.
I thought you meant one in the south end zone and one in the north end zone. I was confused when Sully was pointing. All right.
That would be oddly specific.
Well, he kept going, so I didn't know how far down that road we're going to go.
He throws a passing touchdown to
Left
Jawan Jennings from the right hash on the 14-yard line to the left corner of the end zone.
And Robbie Gold misses the extra point.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
And then they cut Robbie Gold and signed the recently cut Brett Maher. I don't know. Was he actually cut? I was kidding.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
All right. Sully, you go first. I got to think about this.
I'll go B+. I mean, it's bold. You added the 2 touchdowns to me, I guess adds a little bit more boldness to it. CMC's certainly capable of all that. I'll give you B+.
Breech, what do you want to do?
I mean, I like it. I think it is within the realm of possibility. So I will also give it B+.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's right. I think obviously he can score 2 touchdowns coming and going, as you guys call it, and 200 yards seems maybe not reasonable, but certainly doable. All right, 3B pluses across the board.
See, this feels like biased grading. Like I feel like if Sully had thrown out there, that's an A-.
No, 100%.
What?
And I just did the research. there.
Breech screams what? Right as Wilson says
Oh, yeah.
no, 100%.
Well, no, I'm saying the problem with bias grading is you're the guy handing out Fs because
You gave me an F minus.
Yeah, after you gave me an F.
Well, that
As
is
a
response to your F.
grading. I gave you an F.
You are the pot calling the kettle black right now.
You know what? Next week we should have we'll submit the bowl predictions to Nada, and he can read them in a monotone voice, and that way blind voting.
Ooh,
Independent arbiter. I like
I don't hate that idea.
Only because you continue to come in last place. I get it.
That's correct. Or we have we hire like someone to read him and like dress up as like an old English like poet laureate and read him like in a.
Or I'm sure we could just plug it into some AI like robot just to talk to
Yeah,
us.
Breech,
like
you could
that.
talk in your Cowboys robot voice.
As Simonson points out in the chat, harsh judging. Look, I can show comments now too. Harsh judging on Brinson. I find myself agreeing with this whining, much to my chagrin. You know, that happens a lot actually. Much to everyone's chagrin, they agree with my whining. Really
I'll tell you this, Brinson. Christian McCaffrey did do that once in his career back in 2018. 125 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown.
Well, I had that stat
112 yards receiving in the touchdown. I'm just trying to.
And in the history of the playoffs, I don't believe there has ever been a 100 and 100 game. So you could punish them for going too bold with something impossible.
Well, I amended it to 200 total yards though.
Oh.
200 yards from scrimmage. 100.
You didn't
So
say
you're
that part
amending
out
your
loud.
predictions now. So I mean that's another doc.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, we'll do the CMC two-way.
I believe
100 each, one touchdown each.
Okay,
just
that's-
based on quick research, that the person who got the closest to this was Dorsey Levens
nice.
for the Packers 1996 season. It was against the Panthers in the NFC title game. He had 88 rushing yards and 117 receiving yards.
By the way, I just want to point out really quickly before.
Oh boy, here we go. What?
That, CMC 14-1 and Debo 40-1 to win Super Bowl MVP. If you think the 49ers can get there, I think those are pretty good values right now. If they advance past Dallas, those are clearly going to shrink because they'll be one game away. And if the Giants somehow, as you guys think they might, pull off the upset of Philadelphia, those would really shrink because the Niners would likely be in the playoffs. Wouldn't be favored over the Chiefs or the Bills, but if they get like a good, they might be favored to the Bengals. I'm just saying, if you think the Niners can get there, it's a decent value to take those bets now because Brock Purdy doesn't feel like the Super Bowl MVP type CMC or Debo did. Who's next?
Me and then Breech. So tell us once again, Brinson, what the over-under is on this game.
46, I believe.
My bold prediction
46 and a half, excuse me.
is that these two teams combine for at least 65 points. And I will tell you, 8 of the last 10 games, the 49ers have scored at least 31 points. 10 of the last 11 games, the Cowboys have scored at least 27 points. And that comes out to an average of 56 total. So I'm going 9 points above that with 65er.
All right. I'll give Wilson a grade right off the bat of an A+.
Oh, I love it.
My pick story was published before we put this podcast out, and my final score prediction, the total was exactly 65 points.
By the
We're on
way, when
same
you
page,
came
Wilson,
so
same
quickly
page.
with the verdict, I felt like I was on death row. I was, my life was on the line. Either
Breech leapt in there with this. He's like, just think
it's going to be great news or it's going to be terrible news. So I was not convicted. Thank you, Breech. 65. Look at that. That's worrisome that Breech and I had the exact same number.
What was your final score? Breech bot go Cowboys over 49ers? I bet you did.
63-2.
Bot has the score 34-31.
Oh,
By who wins?
49ers.
Cowboys.
Oh, that is bold. All right. Brinson, you want to give me my A+ as well?
Yeah, but before I do that, I do want to point out that, excuse me, in 1964, Keith Lincoln in the playoffs, 206 rushing yards, 123 receiving yards.
Still on this. The look on Sully's face is the look of a man who's wondering what he got himself
And
into.
in 1971, Ed Podolak, 110 receiving yards and 85 rushing yards. And then Dorsey Levens. And Emmitt Smith actually came close. Friend of the podcast, Emmitt Smith.
Sully, what's your grade for me?
Keith Lincoln was an AFL game, which is why I didn't mention that one.
It's pretty much.
Give me an A, Wilson.
Thank you.
Obviously, it wasn't it wasn't a. It's 1964. It's before the merger. I give you a C+, Wilson.
Of course you do. That's fine. I'll take it. If that means ending the story you're telling, I will take the C+ and run out of the room. All right, Breech. Hope I didn't steal your thunder with my 65 prediction.
You did not. I am going to say that the Cowboys upset the San Francisco 49ers, and Brett Maher redeems himself by hitting the game-winning field goal from outside, we'll say, 48 yards.
48? Holy crap.
48 or longer.
Although he actually gets better the far. That's the hidden trick. He gets better the farther away he is from the actual goalpost. I'll give you A+. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'll give you an A. I'm actually mad that I didn't think of that to steal that from you.
All right. A+ and an A is and just so you know, Brinson, you're currently at an 88. Breech is at a 97.5. So you're gonna have to come pretty low to didn't even let me finish my sentence.
What will that move Breech to?
To an 83. And
Oh, then I could Breech a C+.
Now we're spike grading. This guy's talking about revenge grades, and
No,
now
I'm
we're
just,
spike
I'm just,
grading.
it's not spike grading. I'm cheat grading. I'm
Strategy.
moving you below me on the grading scale. What does a C+ move Breech to?
91. So you still
That'd be a C- then. C- for Breech.
You
that's
can't
your
change
last.
it. You said it.
That's your
Wilson.
last.
Changing
That's
after
your
the
last
fact.
one.
Let's C- move him to.
He still beats you by a third of a
Oh,
point.
damn it!
But actually, Sully, you came in
I'll
last
give you a
place
B+.
in that
I'll give
round.
you a B+.
Oh, no.
Sully, you are B+, B-, which is 85-ish. All right, so that's it. We got the Breech has them all written down. I have all the grades intact. I'll tell you quickly as we go through these. Jacksonville and Breech, just tell me which one this is. Jacksonville, Kansas City. The highest grade for us was Sully. What did Sully say for that game?
Sully, 5 touchdown passes by Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, we love that. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles. I had the highest, which is Giants win. Daniel Jones runs for more yards than Jalen Hurts, barely beating out Sully. The next game, Sully again. We would like him in the Bills Bengals. What's that?
Joe Burrow with twice as many touchdown passes as Josh Allen.
And if not for the hate grading from Brinson, you would have won the last one here, but I won it. So the teams combined for at least 65 points.
Or Cowboys win with a Brett Maher game-winning field goal.
Right. All right, that we got the grades in. Breech has written down the bowl predictions. Anything else we got to do there, Brinson?
Wilson has 4 points. Sullivan has 1.5 points. I have half a point. Brinson has 0 points as we head into the divisional round.
Yeah, I think that when I
round.
did my wild card predictions, my super wild card predictions, I did a poor job of remembering that we do keep a scoring system here. Like I would have gone something other than the Mike Lennon thing if I remembered that we were doing scoring.
That was a layup too. All our predictions with Brinson had the point
I'm
there.
trying to think what I would have done. Like, I don't know what I would have done. I've done that Gabe Davis. I don't know what I've done. Something Gabe Davis.
It wouldn't have been as bad as the one that you chose.
I mean, I don't think it was that inconceivable that 17-0. I thought Glennon was coming in.
You could have said something like the Dolphins lead in the second half, and that would have been bold as a 14-point underdog. And
that's great in hindsight.
Sorry, you didn't. Man.
I think you could have even said like just Dolphins cover. You would have been all right.
I love like everyone's
would
like,
have dragged me if I'd gone Dolphins cover or Dolphins lead in the second half.
I think according to Breech, we did drag you when you said Mike Glennon's name out loud. Lesson learned.
Wilson called you Mike Glennon's butler.
I did call you that. To be fair, I call Breech Randy Bullock, so I don't know which one's worse.
Oh, gosh. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Randy Bullock, you say? Oh, we missed.
You could just played that clip 4 times on Monday night every time Brett Maher was out there.
Every time there's an extra point in like a big spot that's missed or like a field goal that's like shanked or Randy Bullock's on the TV, all I hear is that clip playing in my head. Sometimes I yell at my living room. All right, that'll do it for us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on we'll be back tomorrow. Brady Quinn football show, of course. And then Thursday, we'll have the pick show at 1:00 with RJ and Pete. For Sully, for Breech, for Wilson, I'm Brinson. See you guys later.